What's up, guys? Brent Hess here with Cagezilla Unchained, brought to you by the Wild Style Network. We are here talking about Cagezilla 85 on June 28th. We are here with one of our pro bouts. We are here with the apex predator, the man himself, Angel Ortiz. Angel, how you doing today? Thank you for joining us, my man.
Brett, man, it is an honor and a pleasure to be sitting here talking to you, brother. We go back a long time, you and me, buddy.
Yes.
So we've been in combat sports for many, I'd probably say about well over a decade and some change. So in the DMV. So yeah, man, I'm honored and glad to be here.
Yeah, no, thank you, and thank you for joining us. Well, for those who might not know you, which is probably not a lot of people, because I think everybody in Cagezilla knows you in one way or another. But give us a little bit of on your background, your upbringing, maybe a little bit, and let's start off with kind of like with that, and kind of what ultimately led up to MMA and combat sports for you.
Yeah, man. I'm a Puerto Rican guy from the streets of Miami, based out Dade County, 305. Go Canes, go Dolphins. But just like everybody else around that time, man, the UFC 1 came along. It was big for NHB back then. UFC 1, 2, and 3, and you had to go get the old videotapes. I remember having the old VHS tapes of the UFC. A buddy of mine had them. He's like, man, you got to watch this. And we started watching it, and it just kind of branched out from there. Then I went off to the Marines. While I was in the Marines, we would do like small fights and stuff like that, and just kind of branched out from there, man. Started doing a little underground stuff, and then eventually evolved from NHB to MMA, man, and the rest is history.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. No, I know you've been in the game a long time, and we'll get into that too. But before we do, I want to first mention, I know there's at least one big reason that you're doing this fight upcoming, and I know your aspirations are probably not to become the UFC welterweight champion, although they might be. But from the little we spoke about it, I got the sense that this fight for you had a bigger purpose. So maybe you can fill us in and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, as a Marine and stuff like that, I'm always about advocating for veterans and looking out for veterans and stuff like that. And so I got with Jeff and John Scott Howard, and we discussed some stuff. And I kind of, Just Salisbury from big shout out to him and the Cagezilla crew. But we wanted to do something for veterans and first responders and do an event dedicated specifically for that. And so this fight for me is, I'm turning 50, man, in 2 weeks, literally 2 weeks after my fight, and I kind of wanted to do something big, and most people at the age of 50 kind of they'll go get a convertible sports car or go date a younger woman or buy a Rolex. Me, do something crazy, jump out of an airplane, whatever. Me, I just felt like I wanted to just walk under them bright lights one more time and showcase some skills, that they're still kind of a little bit inside a little bit, and just take that walk one last time, man. And I'm doing it for a good cause. I'm raising funds for a Gold Star family. This fight's dedicated to Staff Sergeant Kenneth W. Bennett, Army EOD, excuse me. He lost his life in Iraq in 2012. He is survived by his loving wife, Mandy Bennett, and their 2 kids. And she's a big advocate for Gold Star families and her being in it. And I kind of joined forces with her a little bit and just kind of trying to raise some funds for Gold Star families as well as her family, as well as supporting MARSOC families, So just kind of doing just again, man, just trying to raise funds for Gold Star family and awareness. And awareness for remember, freedom isn't free. It comes with the highest of costs. Yes, we live in the land of the free because of the brave, but let's not forget about that. And that's really the big thing why I'm fighting for this fight.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you're doing that. And, I know that that's very important to you. I could get the sense of that when we were chatting about it before. Now, getting to your upcoming fight here, you're up against John Soka. He's making his pro debut. Tell us a little bit about your, preparation leading up to this big one for you, and what, if anything, about John coming into this big one on June 28th.
I've never been an advocate about trashing my opponent or talking bad about them. That's just not something I do. I mean, they've done it to me in the past, but that's just never really been my thing, man. And I've been fighting for on and off for a while. The crazy thing, and I got to tell people this, you go to places like B Dubs or cool places like that, and to watch fights or whatever back in the day, and you could hear civilians, as I call them, or people that have never trained a day in their life. Talking, I would do this, I would do that, and stuff. And I'm thinking back now, I haven't done anything, Brett, in 10 years. Nothing in over 10 years. I fought 10 years ago against David Reeves. Was my last pro fight against David Reeves, a BJJ black belt, Fluffy BJJ. Big shout out to him, man. And I haven't done anything since then. Literally 10 years ago, I fought and haven't done anything since then. Got fat and happy, man. Enjoyed life. Referee, because that's how everybody pretty much knows me now, is I'm a big referee in the area. And I love reffing fights, man. It's an honor to share the cage with so many great warriors throughout the years and stuff. And didn't I ref one of your fights, Brett? Pretty sure I reffed one of your fights.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, you've been reffing for a while.
Long time,
and you're one of the best referees that we have, in my opinion, man. So I always say you and Mr. Michael Dolman, I think you guys are two of the best we got in here. And we have others. I'm not saying anything, but I think you and him have put in your time in the game and understand it, and that's what makes a good ref, and can make those quick decisions.
I've always been an advocate for people that want to become referees, man, to just train and learn the sport, understand it for a few years, even before you get into training to refereeing and officiating and judging, and then kind of just shadow and go through it a couple times until you eventually get your time to do it, And no referee is perfect. I don't care how long you've been in the game, man. Officiating is not easy. It's, you're going to make mistakes. It happens. It's just part of the game. I mean, even at the highest level in the UFC and PFL and, and all the top rated shows, referees make mistakes, man. It just happens. But, and judges as well. But as we know. But
definitely the judges.
Yeah. I hate to be in their shoes. I'm glad I'm not a judge, man. Guys like Ronnie Rodriguez and those guys, man, I give it up to them because they're always, they're under the scrutiny of being a judge, man.
Yeah.
But preparing for this fight, man, I haven't done anything in 10 years. And I see these guys that always want to talk about stuff like that. This stuff is hard, man. I've forgotten how hard it's been to train for combat sports. I'm old. I'm achy. I'm hurting. Everything sucks, But at the same time, my mentality is I'm excited about it, man. It gets me back into the forum and gets me back into doing what I love. And that's training with the younger guys and seeing how they've developed and how the game has developed so much since my time. And it's transitioned so much. And it's just, I get excited for it, and it feeds me the energy that I need to be able to push forward, man, through the pains and aches. And the fight, we all know fighting is easy. Stepping in the cage or ring is easy to do. But leading up to it, it's dancing underneath the other lights before you dance underneath those bright lights. That's where it's at, man. Muhammad Ali said it best. I hate training.
Yeah.
I hate training, but the fight part, I love, So, you gotta take the first fight, which is the training and the weight cut, to be able to get down the whole mental, mindset of getting your mind right for these fights and stepping into that ring and be able to perform, man. That's what it really is about me. So
and that's exciting. And I know that you getting back into the swing of things after 10 years, I mean, your body just must feel a little different, right? I mean, the recovery mainly and everything like that. And you'll be welcoming John into his into the pro ranks here, coming into his pro debut here, coming up on Cagezilla 85. Let our Cagezilla fans know what kind of energy you'll be bringing into fight day. What kind of welcome are you planning on giving John here in his pro debut June 28th?
I like John. He's a great guy. I'm looking forward to stepping into the cage with him, man. It's just two old head masters stepping into the cage and putting on a show, man. Both come from striking backgrounds, man. Both, it should be fun, man. I'm bringing a ton of energy. I'm always bringing energy. If you know anything about me, I mean, talking wise, I bring energy, man. I just try to go in there and I'm going to go in there and put on a show, man. Give the fans what they want. I'm training really hard for this fight. I'm training with some of the best, fighters in the DMV, man. Big shout out to my teammates over at Enlisted Nine, Hagerstown, Enlisted Nine, headquarters in Fredericksburg. Big shout out to Disciple MMA Academy, John Scott Howard, Coach Mike Pendlebury, Coach Mike Pope, who's also Popezilla stepping into the cage as well
That's right.
at Cagezilla 85, man. So, and that dude's a monster, bro. If you know anything about Mike Pope, he's just a stud. But it's just going to be a great event, man. And I know everybody's going to be hooting and hollering and screaming and cheering, and you get excited for that, man, and that build up and that feeding it while you're sitting in the back of the room waiting for your time to step up, and you're just like, oh my God, we're here. You hit that switch, and it's when you hit that switch, when you hear that cage door lock, clink,
Yeah.
it's on. There's nowhere for you to go. It's
Yeah.
you and that person. You got two choices, man: fight or flight, and you have the obvious. You go in there and you fight. You have no choice. So I go in there, man, and I'm just looking forward to it, and I'm training. I know he's about John Soak. I know that he's a striker. He was I know he's got a strong kickboxing background, karate background, taekwondo guy, long rangy, heavy kicks, nice spinning back kick. I know he's gonna come and bring it, man, and I'm just excited for it because I feed off fights like that, fights that push me and make me want to go. It makes me want to just let's go. You hit me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you back. We're gonna have some fun.
That's
You know.
beautiful. Yeah, certainly you're gonna have a different feeling as you're walking up to the Salisbury Center this on June 28th, right? Like you normally walk up to the building, you're like, okay, yeah, we got an exciting night of fights, but on the 28th, man, you are getting in there, and that must be an incredible feeling for you. I think it's worth noting that you actually fought on Operation Octagon number one, the first one, man. And for those who don't know, Cagezilla's it was formerly known as Operation Octagon. That's where it all started. That's where guys like myself and you and tons of other guys, awesome guys, even Colton Smith started there for Enlisted Nine, and
Ramos, all kinds of great fought guys, man. Brett Hess, all kinds of guys, man.
Yeah.
Just guys stepping in and that. I mean, most of the top DMV fighters, man, came through Operation Octagon or Cagezilla at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So big shout out to Art and Jeff, man.
That's right. Yeah, we can't forget Mr. Art Simlar. And Operation Octagon number one, January 2008. We're the longest running and most successful MMA promotion around. Tell us what kind of full circle moment must it feel like for you, and what does it mean to be fighting now for us here on Cagezilla 85, man? Because I know you must feel something inside.
It is. I do. I feel it's getting back to the training thing real quick. My body literally screams at me all the time. As you get older, it's a different mindset. And so I remember sitting back then. I was fighting for MMA Institute at the time, and back then, and Predator Fight Club, and it was just one of those things. I look back and I'm like, man, I fought at Operation Octagon 1 at the fairgrounds in Prince William County in January when it was freezing, and I remember them pumping the heat.
Oh my God.
And you had to go from one warehouse all the way to the other. Or one facility there all the way to the other. You had to walk and freeze your tail off, and then you got back to into where the cage was at. And man, just sitting back then, and back then they used to give the real big trophies, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember those big trophies you used to get.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a short guy, so the trophy was about half my height, and it was an awesome thing to kind of hold that up, man. And they used to have military guys there presenting the awards and all kinds of stuff. And big shout out to Art, man. He's a veteran, Air Force veteran himself. But it's just one of those things. Like you look back, and then you step into the cage now. After I've been reffing all these years in Cagezilla and some of the other local promotions and stuff, and I look back and I'm like, man, it really is a full circle moment.
Yeah.
To have a professional fight. I was an amateur at Operation Octagon. To have a professional fight at Cagezilla 85, a milestone Cagezilla at Cagezilla 85. And, all I can say, man, is God is good. It's a blessing that my body's even able to do this, because I'm coming down from 223.8 pounds when I started all this, and I'm down to 185 right now. So and I still got a little ways to go. About 3 weeks left, getting close to the fight, and I'll make that 170, no problem. But it's great, man, because I have made it, you know, fighting, reffing, to fighting again at
Yeah.
almost 50 years old at Cagezilla. It's just a true blessing that I'm able to do that, man. And truly, God is good. God is great, man.
Yeah, wow. What a plan God has had for you, and wow. I mean, that is amazing. I think if people don't know, they're gonna know, and they should know that, man, you were there at the beginning of Cagezilla, right? Which was Operation Octagon #1, not #3 or #5 or #7. You were there at #1, and getting in that cage, and man, what a history, man. Over 15 years ago, and for you to be getting back in there and firing up the engine again, man, that's so exciting. And after having refed and become such a well-known and reputable ref for so long, and that's kind of like something too, reffing, because I commentate now that I'm not getting in the cage. I commentate, and that's as close as I'm looking right at the cage, and I love it, man. But I could get one step closer, and that could be inside as a ref, man. I've always kind of envied refs in a certain sense, because
I mean, you're good, right? No, your whole family, man. Shout out to Mickey, though, man. Your pops, everybody. Your whole family is just all warriors. Your sister, every one of y'all
Thank you.
has competed, man. And see guys like you that have been in the game, your pops, everybody knows the game for so long, man. It's good to have guys like y'all that want to become officials and stuff like that, because it does help referees and judges. It really does help. It's because you understand the game. You've been in there. You know what it takes
Yeah.
and you know what you're looking for. So it's an easy transition downward, not really downward, but to the side of, being inside that cage
Right.
and
Right.
just
And
enjoying it, man.
any crazy referee stories you can tell us?
Oh,
I'm curious,
I
man.
got,
Come
I
on, I
got
need to
so
hear at
many,
least
dude.
one.
I got so many, dude. It's been crazy. It's crazy. I've been hit by fighters where they were punch drunk.
Oh man, really?
And I try to stop them and hold them, and they're
Yeah.
fighting me, and I'm doing everything to stop them, and they're literally blasting me with punches and kicks, and I'm holding on to them for dear life, like, please stop hurting me. I'm just trying to save you,
Yeah.
man.
Oh my
You know,
God. Yeah,
but
I've seen some videos where like the ref will haul off, in other countries, right? The ref will haul off and hit the other guy because he hit him, right? And then the ref and the fighter are getting in a fight, and so it must be. I mean, you're right in the middle of the war, and so
yeah.
I thought maybe you would have some funny stories for us and
Oh
stuff.
man, I think I was one time I was at down in Roanoke. It was a Bruce Gabramski's show. What was it called back then? Elite Warrior Challenge, EWC. And I was there reffing a fight, man. And the guy was punch drunk. He was hurt. And I step in, and he's still kind of on his feet, but he's complete eyes rolled back. He's completely out, right? He's just punch drunk, and he throws the right hand, and I eat it, bang. And then but then I'm thinking it's just he's one and done. Like, okay, I go to grab him. Well, he hits me 2 more times and then tries to shoot in on me. So I take him down. The other officials come in. Everybody's starting to stop. Well, now his fight camp is literally jumping into the cage. They're trying to fight me.
Oh no.
And this stuff. And the other officials come in and try to break up everything and pull out stuff, man. And it's just crazy. Like, listen, I'm just trying to save your fighters,
Yeah.
from getting hurt. It's an
Yeah.
amateur fight. He's
Yeah.
out. He was completely out. I mean, after I let him go and after everything was over with, he takes 2 steps and stumbles to the mat.
Yeah.
So he was
Wow.
still out, and, and that was like after 5 minutes had gone by, so
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm
my
sure
God.
that's one of many awesome stories that you have from inside the cage. I mean, you probably get a funny story every time you every night that you step in there, right?
And it's hit or miss with shows. Every show has their great fights. Every show has their crappy fights. But you get in there and you see just it's different people, different personalities, man. It's like a cast of characters, just everybody from different backgrounds. And you see them step in the cage and they fight and you do everything you can to stay out of the way. But you can't help but be a fan too, because
Yeah.
you hear a punch, bam, solid punch, and then you're like, oh. your your reaction is just like, oh shit, but then you're like, oh my god, I got to get in there.
I'm the official. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
official, and I get caught up in that moment sometimes. It's like, oh my god, but it happens to every referee, man. I've talked to Mike Beltran, I've talked to so many Big John and all those guys, and they've all said the same thing. Sometimes they just get caught in the moment, man, and just like you take a shot and you're like, oh shit, and now you got to go back and fight. You
Right,
got to step
right.
in and remember you're reffing the fight. But yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting. Yeah. And I always love seeing you in there. I think all the athletes should be confident with you and expert referee, another expert referee, Michael Dolman. I think you guys do an awesome job in there. And I know certainly if you weren't fighting on the 28th, you'd probably be in there reffing, right? And,
Yeah.
so it's going to be a different kind of night for you. But before we finish up, I always like to kind of collect a quote or a motto, something that maybe you've read or your coaches have shared with you, or something along your journey that has empowered you, and something you can pass along to our audience.
There's always big quotes everywhere, man. I've always been one and proponent is, pain is the Marine Corps taught me a long time ago, is pain is weakness leaving the body. When you're in pain, it's just the weakness that's leaving your body as you continuously train and get better. And then you realize, oh man, I was out of breath, and then now you're able to contain your breath, and now I'm going longer and feeling better. So, yeah, man, my quote that's always followed me throughout the years is pain is weakness leaving the body, man.
I like that one, man. That's the Marine Corps quote to the core, man, and that's awesome. I love that one. Pain, weakness leaving the body. Well, hey, give us a way we can follow you, Angel. I'm sure if you don't already have a ton of fans, you're gonna have some after the 28th. So give us a way we can follow your journey. Give us your social medias if you have some, or your team's social medias, and give us a way we can do that.
Well, yeah, I want to say big shout out, man, to my sponsors, SDI Labs, man. Check them out. If you go on, if you check them out, they got great supplements for you to help you. Especially if you're a fighter and you're trying to get, maintain your shape and stay in shape. Their products are amazing. We're SDI Labs. If you use my promo code Angel Ortiz, you get 35% off. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please go to cagezilla.com, go on the promo code, put my name in, Angel, just Angel. You'll receive a discount on your tickets, and part of my ticket sales go to my charitable contributions for this fight and stuff, and goes to our families supporting veterans, man, and their families. So please do that. Big shout out to, my coaches, Colton Smith, Johnny Curtis from Freedom MMA and Fight Church MMA, Colton Smith from Enlisted 9, Seth Karen from Enlisted 9, John Scott Howard, Mike Pendlebury, Mike Pope, those guys, my coaches from Disciple MMA Academy. Shout out to Sensei Nima and those guys over at Kaizen, man. Everybody, I'm a true product of the DMV, man, and I'm going in there representing the DMV and doing what I got to do to have fun in this fight, man. And I can't wait. If you're looking to fight me, man, just go to Angel Ortiz MMA, everything on all social networks. Angel Ortiz MMA on all social networks, except for Facebook. On Facebook, I'm just still Angel Ortiz. But yeah, I'm just excited for this fight. I'm honored to step in the cage. I'm honored to even talk to you, Brett, man, and it's a blessing. And again, big shout out to Art, big shout out to Jeff Salisbury, man, and the entire Cagezilla, the IBT community models, everybody that even the security, everybody that formulates Cagezilla, man, because I've been in the background and I've seen how it operates, and to put on a show is not easy, and I'm just grateful and honored to be able to be part of it, and it's going to be a good night of fights, man. On a stacked card.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited for this one. I mean, this card was kind of built around you guys. I mean, you guys being, this fight has already been in the works since I feel like 5-6 months now, and so it's finally coming to a head. I'm excited to see you on there. I hope training and everything continues to go awesome for you, and that the most important part, right? You stay healthy leading up to June 28th, and I know you got a ton of stuff going on, so I appreciate you taking a little time to join us here today.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks again, man. Listen, honestly, the best part about the end of this fight is I'm going to eat a giant Supreme pizza. I'm just eating pizza right now. I don't know. I've been eating.
You haven't had any. When's the last time you had pizza?
Oh God, 2.5 months ago. So
There you
I've
go.
just been eating light and healthy, man, and just that in itself has helped me a lot. But
Yeah.
acai bowls have become my friend. I'm not even joking. But I just can't wait to have a giant slice of pizza, man. But
Oh man.
yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm
Yeah.
honored, and I look forward to this fight.
There we go, man. You deserve it. Well, there you go, guys. Angel, the Apex Predator Ortiz, will be one of our pro bouts here coming up on Cagezilla 85, June 28th. Make sure you guys are picking up tickets. CagezillaTickets.com. Do not miss this one. Until next time, signing off. Much love and respect.